Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome, Turbo Ethorians. Today, we are having an episode on Mario Maker. Do the Mario, swing your hips from side to side.
No, you gotta do the one from the 90s movie. It was like, everybody do the dinosaur.
Oh, the dinosaur. Perfect. I am your host, Nick. With me, I have Greg.
Hey there, hi there, hello there.
There we go, and Mike. Oh, amazing. You just rub it in everyone's face. People that are having a hard time getting that damn amiibo. And
Man, they had to be on there.
And today we are going over the Super Mario Maker, the system seller, the breadwinner of the Wii U.
It's probably the best thing I've played on the Wii U so far.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that.
I mean, I bought the thing for Zelda, which obviously I'm not going to be playing it on the Wii U, so pretty much it's now the Mario Maker system.
Well, I just want to talk about like our experience with it so far, because I think we had a lot of fun with it. It's almost limitless what you can do in that particular game. As a person that has not a creative bone in his body, like for me to be able to play this game and get a kick out of it creating levels, I think that's a testament to show what the game can do for you.
I mean, I've always been into like anything that lets me build a level. I've never really gotten into one as I've gotten into this one. So the first one I ever played was like RPG Maker on the PlayStation, which is way too in-depth, way too confusing. I made zero, like anything close to a game.
Yeah.
Little Big Planet was fun, but it never really grabbed me. This one from day one, I've dove into this and I've made a bunch of levels and I love it. I've been like, I've stopped playing and I'm thinking about what I'm going to do next in my level like all night.
What about you, Greg? What have you been feeling out of it?
I like it quite a bit. I mean, I'm kind of with you in the whole not too creative, at least in that particular aspect. So I'll look through at some levels and I'm like, good Lord, why can't I think of something that awesome? Because basically what'll happen is I'm like, okay, here's my gamepad. All right, what do I want to do? Maybe I'll start with Super Mario Brothers 3. Okay, here's the starting line. Let me build something here. Okay, I've got all this space. Wait, what the fuck do I want to do? And then by the time I finish the end of it, it just resembles nothing. Really nothing too memorable. So, but all in all, I like it quite a bit. I do think it's pretty obvious that some people really suck at this game, as evidenced by the pretty low clear rates on some relatively easy levels.
Yeah, I think it's just the new generation that didn't grow up with playing a legitimate Mario. I mean, all right, sorry. Let me take that back. New Super Mario Brothers isn't too bad, and it has its share of difficulty on it. But when you compare it to 1, 2, well, 2 doesn't really count, 3, and Super Mario World, like that, the difficulty in those games compared to like the newer ones is just on a different scale, in my opinion.
Yeah,
no
I agree with
question.
When I first got my hands on this, I'm thinking, you had everything on Access. I didn't like how they had everything on like a timed release. Like, who legitimately waited for all those items to come out?
I think I get why they I understand the thought process behind it. However, in like execution, it was terrible because, the first thing I got was I made my first level and I used all the limited tools they had, and that was good for getting a feel for it. And then by the time I got into the second level, I was like, okay, I need more shit. Like, I want to make something better than this. And I ended up just, you'd get the 5-minute and then they're going to deliver it on Tuesday, and I would just leave the game, go into the system clock, change the date, and I unlocked everything the second day I had it.
What they should have done is, okay, here's the tools that you're going to get now, and instead of giving you the option to either play a level that's already made or create your own, which you're going to do anyway, what they should have done is give you like a little quick mini tutorial, like here's how you might want to use this little particular tool, here's a couple different ways you can do it, why don't you try this? I mean, yeah, it's kind of walking you through, but at least you're kind of getting a better understanding of how to implement said tools.
Compared to like level building games that that ones I've mentioned in the past, like this one was so ridiculously intuitive. This one took almost no time to pick up and get right into it. And even now, having unlocked everything and made several levels with all the tools available, I still now find myself limited by what the game in general has given me. I'm like, I wish there was more. Like, I want more stuff. I want more options.
I totally get that. I guess they just, like you mentioned, they didn't want to overwhelm people, so... But I think they should have given you the ability to just say, like, hey, if you want to just flip the switch and have everything on hand, like go for it, because you know we've how many hours have we logged like collectively in Mario? Seriously, guys, like hours upon hours. I'm sure like days.
Too many.
Probably more like years.
Months.
I mean, Mario's the first game I ever played when I was like 3 years old. I mean, I've been playing Mario since I've been alive. I mean, Mario's 30 years old. I'm 29, so.
Yeah, I mean I guess that's safe to say. So I want to dive into like talking about playing other people's levels, and this is a very interesting aspect, because the thing I found interesting about it was and correct me if I'm wrong, the more of these levels you play, the more it seems like more of the same a little bit. Like you're kind of getting the idea of what's going on. Either it is complete chaos, or it is just like a notch below difficulty in like a regular Mario level. Am I wrong, guys? Or
No, I mean, most of the levels I've played are not all that exciting. You know, all the popular ones pretty much seem to be automatic Marios, which are really cool, but they don't really excite me that much. I appreciate the work that goes into them. But yeah, like, I mean, today I was looking for a little inspiration on the level I'm currently working on, and I played through a whole bunch, and I got nothing. They were just like, so many of them, like you said, looked exactly the same. They were just generic. Or else you would get to a point. I think the clusterfuck levels have died down a little bit, I've noticed. I haven't run into as many of them where just like you get into an area and it's just like craziness of villains everywhere.
Yeah. Well, you know what really gets me is the automatic levels. And yes, I know we've had conversations about it like off the air. Alright, I appreciate the level of work that goes into creating them, but holy fuck, like if those are gonna be like the top levels, you know, like where's the skill? The skill as being the player, you know, where's that left to? You just sitting there and watching a little like pass on go.
It's not a Mario game at that point. It's just basically watching somebody play Mario, and that somebody being the computer.
It's a Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah.
Just made in Mario. I mean, like I said, they're cool. I understand why they get the most likes, because anybody can do it. You know, you're having a party and there's people who've never played Mario, don't play games. They look at it and they can all have some fun with it for 3 seconds, however long it takes. But yeah, I mean, and then there also seem to be the flip side, though, where people are just making insanely difficult levels, like the one featured on Kotaku where it took like 11,000 people before someone finally beat it.
Well, let's talk about that real quick, because you can't create any level and then just have it posted. Like in order to have that level posted, you have to be able to beat it yourself, which I think is a great function. If they didn't do that, like, you will not be able to pass like half of the levels that people would make at that point.
Yeah, it keeps people from putting broken levels up that are just like impossible to beat. But I mean, one thing I did notice, like when I tried making my hand at a very hard level that these two fine gentlemen have both completed. You guys should check it out there too. But when you're making the level, you play it so much, just, you know, step by step putting it together, that you get so familiar with the timing that it just becomes easy for you.
Yeah.
And also, like, when you know what's coming and what's next, it's easy for you to beat it, so it's easier for you to upload. It's much harder for people to play. I almost wish they would put a little continue, like one continue you could put in like halfway through the level, so people don't have to
constantly... Oh, you mean like a little checkpoint? Yeah.
Kind of like almost like the Sonic games. Like, I know it's not really a Mario thing to do, though. Didn't Super Mario have the checkpoints?
Yeah.
Super Mario World had checkpoints, and that's what killed me about like some of these levels, because like sometimes you will trek like a decent amount of like way through the level, and then all of a sudden you die all the way back to the beginning. You're like, oh my god, like, come on.
Yeah, like there's levels I've gotten close to beating that I didn't finish just because I got to the very end, screwed up, and just didn't feel like doing it again. And like, I would like to complete it. I'd like to get that clear in, but if you had the continue, I think that'd be a great feature to add.
Yeah.
Agreed. Now, what has been your all's favorite level to tinker with, or style of Mario? Me personally, and I don't see enough of it, so this is almost like partially a rant on you guys. Where the fuck are the Super Mario World levels? Oh my god, as being one of my favorite Super Marios, if not the most favorite Super Mario of all time, as I am a Super NES mark, where are the damn Super Mario World levels? That's what I want to know. I mean, I've created maybe a couple of them so far, or maybe one. I can't recall right away, but that is my favorite one to tinker with. I get that like flood of nostalgia as soon as I'm messing with anything like in that particular world. So I don't know, what are y'all's favorite Mario like world, so to speak?
Super Mario Brothers.
The original one?
That or 3 is what I usually stick with.
By the way, those look great. The fact that they were able to HDify, like keep the retro look, but they put a little salt and pepper on the levels, like as far as like the backgrounds and stuff, and allowing it to be sharp enough, but keeping the retro look and feel to it. I think that's really great.
I would agree there. I think I'm with you. Super Mario from the Super NES is definitely my favorite one, just aesthetically. I think
Yes.
it just is everything that you love about pixel gaming and pixel art. Mario 3 though is a really close second. I think it's an amazing looking game, and it's really fun to play with on Mario Maker. So the newest one, the Super Mario U, is definitely my least favorite.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. It's got some interesting things, like interesting features, considering the being able to kick off the walls and stuff. But other than that, like if I had to like erase one from the game, like it'd probably be that one.
I also have no nostalgia for that game though, so it's not really fair.
Yeah,
I mean, where like all the first 3 are like major points in my gaming life. I would love to maybe see some Mario 2 DLC.
Oh man, I don't.
Because it's still a great looking game, and it's, I know obviously it's not a true Mario game. It's it's still a great Mario game. It's still one of my favorites, and I think it'd be really fun to make a Mario 2 level.
Yeah, you never know. It could be down the pipeline. But since we're talking about like, these particular worlds, Mike, I think you would be the best person to maybe throw in a couple tips here and there as to how to create like a proper or a decent Mario level.
So a couple things I've noticed is, one, cut down on the clutter.
Yes.
That's a big one. We all know it out there. Just when everything's going crazy, it's just not fun. It doesn't look good. It's not fun to play. And then another thing I noticed is when you're actually trying to make a really well-structured level, people put really hard challenges right in the beginning. And I think that turns a lot of people off to playing the level, because, maybe when you do finally figure out how to get past that, and you die at the next stage, you don't necessarily want to go through the whole struggle of the first part again. So I find it better to, start a little bit easier and then slowly build the challenge. I mean, go back and maybe even play some old Mario games and just see how they did it. Play some, or any 2D strides roller, because it's a formula that every game's used, and I think, it would help. And just, when you do find those really good levels out there, I say follow those people, because they give you great ideas that you can then, I would say, steal and incorporate into your own levels. I mean, I've definitely, when I get stuck at a level, I search around and I try and find some inspiration. Yeah, when I make a level, I usually have, I don't have the whole thing mapped out, what I'm going to do next. I have a vague idea of what I want to do, and I pretty much attack it section by section. So I'll make the first part, and I'll be like, here's the challenge, and I'll play it, make sure it plays, decently. And then I'll that usually kind of spurs me on, I guess the creative juices flowing, to then get the next sections. That was definitely something that is on the level I'm currently working on. I had an idea, I wanted to do something with a jungle theme, but I didn't have the specific ideas, and then I just started and then just kind of kept going there and beefing it up.
Which is another good point to bring, is you don't have to create it all in one day. You can space it out a little bit, create a little bit here, save it, take a break, come back, create a little bit there, then you'll have the grand masterpiece, that you want to go ahead and put together. So, but again,
and playtest your levels. If you're getting frustrated doing it, you can guarantee other people are. I've definitely gone back in subsequent, replaying the level over and over, and been like, maybe I don't need this extra challenge right here. I can take this part out, and this area is still hard enough on its own.
All right, well, those are some really good tips that we kind of brought up. So I think it would be nice to kind of close it in by talk about some of our favorite levels, whether it be amongst ourselves or maybe ones that we've discovered. Personally, I want to talk about y'all's levels. I thought I had a lot of fun, and that this brings me to the point of the most enjoyment I'm getting out of this game is actually just playing my friends' levels. and creating levels for you guys to see your all's reaction. Because like I don't know, I just get the biggest kick out of that. So like, for example, Greg's level, Judge Me by My Size, Do You? Like, that was a great little... It was the one time I didn't realize, like, oh, you can be a troll and stack, like, enemies in these question mark blocks. And I was like... It was just about every block. I was like, Greg, what are you doing? I lost the first couple of times, like, trying to play that.
And you have to keep hitting the blocks because you're like, well, maybe this is the one that has the mushroom in it.
Yep.
Like you know it's got enemy, but you can't like resist the temptation. That question mark is just driving at you.
Well, I told Mike my favorite part was you start off and you see that Koopa and you're like, okay, here's 2 question mark blocks up top. He's kind of blocking, but ooh, there's one on the ground. Well, if you hit the one on the ground with the shell of the dead Koopa, well, out comes the little flower plant. So if you hit the mushroom, it goes right into him, and then boom, you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Another quick shout out I want to give is your level, Mike, a Castle of Ice and Fire. Like, I really enjoyed that level. Like, it felt very Mario-y. Like, if that makes sense. Like, it had that very classical Mario feel to it, and it was totally a passable level, minus the blade saws that were just like kind of going in a certain pattern. But other than that, like, it was a great level. I had a good time with it, and I spent a lot of time playing that level. So
I designed that
Kudos,
level.
man.
Thank you. I designed that level specifically to almost be counter to Mario, where Mario encouraged you to rush through levels. I wanted that one to be one where it actually paid to slow down and learn the timing. So those saws actually aren't that tough if you learn all the timing, and there's a couple secrets in there. I wanted to make multiple ways to beat it. So I was definitely going for a challenging castle. That was the first level I think I really spent a lot of time on. You know, the first couple were just playing around with the tools. That was the one I put the most time into.
Awesome. Now, I think, do you guys have any like quick shout outs you want to give to certain levels that either you've seen amongst ourselves or like maybe somebody else's that you want to give a shout out to?
Well, I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed playing both your guys' levels, and you know, like you said, part of the most fun I have about this is making levels for you guys to play. When I'm making it, I have you guys in mind, and I can't wait for you guys to play it and hear some feedback on them. I think we noted on it earlier, a good level's hard to find. So there's one girl, she's a French girl. Her name is like Senrillion, I think.
Yeah.
She's made some really good levels. They vary in challenge, but they're all very nice to look at. They're all very well thought out. She has one which is like Vista area, like Nova or something, which is like a boat level. And then she has one that's like Premiere Creation. All her level names are in French. She's fairly popular. She has a lot of likes, or stars. So she's not too hard to find on like the top player maker list. So check her levels out because she does some good stuff, and none of them are automatic.
Correct. And we will maybe try to post a little link or try to provide it via other social media, which leads me to bring this show to a close for tonight. I think we've gotten like a great experience out of Super Mario Maker. I didn't expect this to be the game that it is and to be so well received. I mean, like, I had a feeling it'd be fine, but like really, like, I really got a good feeling out of it, and I think it's doing a lot of good for all of us that have been clamoring for a Mario. Yeah, it's not the Mario, like the next new Mario game, but it definitely breathes some life into previous games that we've played. So hopefully we're looking forward to more of the same, more of, let me see, how do I want to put this? Maybe more like DLC, you know, some more things that they'll add down the line. It's got to be open to that. There's no way they can pass upon that opportunity. It's an easy cash cow.
I'm already clamoring for more tools.
Exactly. And on that note, folks, thank you for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Let us know your Mario levels. Go ahead and post it down below in the comments. If you follow us on Twitter, the Turbo Ether, you will be able to see that we're making levels as well. Keep an eye out. We'll be posting them. Try them out and rate it and let us know what you think. And also check out the Facebook, which is Turbo Ether. And on that note, folks, may the Triforce be with you.
It's me, Mario!